What's going on, y'all? So today I want to give you my ultimate checklist for creating a successful e-commerce brand, whether that's with a Shopify store, whether that's with WooCommerce and WordPress. I'm going to give you my checklist I work with people on to create a successful e-commerce store. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, so number one is the brand. So with the brand, you first off want to have a very, very strong and good name. This is a big mistake I see a lot of people make, is they just go ahead and just choose any name, because a lot of good names, let's face it, a lot of good names in domains are actually taken now, because so many people have gone ahead and jumped into entrepreneurship or website building, what have you. You want to go ahead and take your time with a name. And I've got a whole video on my process of how I go ahead and choose a name and brainstorm a name, but essentially I don't rush this process. This is a part of the process, the very beginning steps that I take my time with. And then in tangent with that is actually having a very, very quality logo. The logo, guys, is something that you can improve upon later on, but you want to go ahead and have a very quality, memorable logo from the very beginning. Next is your store design and your social media profile creation. So the reason I've lumped these two together is because as you're creating the store design and as you're creating the social media profiles, you want to have consistency and congruency throughout the brand. And I'll talk about this a little bit later on in the checklist, but you want to go ahead and create your store design, and then you want your social media profiles to essentially feel like the same exact brand. This is one of the most common mistakes I see, is that I'll go review someone's website, and then the feeling I get off the social media profiles, it seems like it's two completely different brands, two completely different businesses. You don't want that, guys. You want the same feeling across the board. So after you go through and you create all of the brand assets and you start building these up and growing these, you want to go ahead and get into your product and niche research. So this is where you want to go ahead and you want to actually take the time, and I mean this, guys, take the time to go ahead and really, really research what niche you should go into. And then when you find that niche, whether that's a general store, you just want to have a product store where you have trendy and hot products, or whether you want to have a mid-level niche store like what I recommend starting with, or you want to have a specific niche, go ahead and really, really research this. First off, you want to research to make sure you have demand. And that's why a lot of people get into this and they do that step of the research. What a lot of people don't do is they don't use several different tools to go ahead and find out immediately who their target demographic is. That's something that you want to know before you even start marketing. You start throwing out those advertising dollars and start wasting money by not having that knowledge of who your actual demographic is. Next, you want to go ahead and focus on your organic reach. So I talked about already how you want to have built up your social media profiles. That way you can go ahead, get them going, and you can do this around the same step as your store design, so you have that congruency and consistency in the same brand feel. But now you want to actually focus on growth hacking your organic reach. You want to go ahead and focus on how do you go ahead and really get the most reach possible without paid advertising. How do you go ahead and build up a following, whether this is a Facebook group, whether this is a Facebook page, whether this is your Instagram profile, whether this is a YouTube channel for your brand. Whatever it is, you want to go ahead and you want to treat this step like a job. You want to treat this step, and there's jobs out there for this, of social media management and social media growth. There's jobs in big companies for this individual step, and you need to treat this step like a job. You need to go ahead, focus on how to gain that organic reach, and this will go ahead and help you have organic sales that you're not spending advertising money on. Yes, it'll take time, but this is how you can go ahead and start making money before you even start advertising. Definitely take your time, know what you're doing with this step, and really, really invest yourself into this step. Next, with the organic reach, would be SEO, search engine optimization. You want to go ahead and spend your time doing this. This is a big step that I see not a lot of people focusing on anymore, and SEO is still very, very powerful. Definitely focus on, from the very beginning, how you can go ahead and start leveraging SEO for your business. And this is something that you can start with almost day one. And depending on what tactic you use, this can take a long time to build up. But this can be very, very powerful. And it's very similar to something that I've talked about. When I started with having a blog connected to my e-commerce store, and my blog drove so many customers to my e-commerce store daily. So this is where you can get really creative with driving free traffic and converting them over to actually being customers if you do this step right, guys. And that goes along with email marketing. You want to have good email marketing, and you want to learn how to have good email marketing. And so that step is kind of in tangent with the next part of the checklist, which would be paid advertising. So there's so many different routes to go about this, because there's so many different marketing and advertising channels that you guys can invest yourselves in. How I tell people to go ahead and do this, and how I do it, and how I recommend people do it, is to have a primary source and a secondary source. And this is just a start. Over time, you need to go ahead and explore all your advertising and marketing channels to see which really, really fits your brand. Because not only do you need to figure out these channels, but certain advertising channels work better for different types of products and different types of niches and different types of brands. So you need to figure out what works best for your brand, for your products, everything like that. You know, whether you want your primary channel to be, you know, Facebook advertising, and your secondary to be YouTube advertising or Google ads, whatever it is, you want to go ahead and, you know, put your main focus and your main part of your budget, and you need to have a budget lined up. You need to have the main part of your budget going to the primary source, while you're also still trying to build up your secondary source. And you need to go ahead and have your target demographics known by this point. That way you can have plans of action of how you're going to scale both vertically and horizontally. You guys know, if you've been following me for a while, how much I preach scaling horizontally, because this is the fastest and most powerful way to have a very, very successful business. A lot of people just focus on raising the budget of their individual ads, whether that's with Google or Facebook. But truly, guys, the most powerful way to have success quickly is by scaling horizontally. So for this part of the checklist, the paid advertising, this is one that you're going to need to go ahead and have a steep learning curve if you've had no experience with this so far. And so definitely go ahead and invest your time into learning how to do this properly, because you can waste a lot of money, and I've seen a lot of people waste a lot of money if they don't follow a right plan of attack. Next, you want to go ahead and focus on your team building and your scaling. So with your team building, this is exactly how it sounds. If you have a brick and mortar store or an inventory held store, you're probably going to need to go ahead and have a team that works with you on a daily basis, probably in a physical location, whether this starts out in your house, whether this is in a warehouse that you guys get. You're going to have to do that. If you've got more of, you know, an Amazon FBA type business or drop shipping business, then this could be virtual assistants, where you just communicate with these people via the internet or phone or whatever. But this is where you need to go ahead and start building up a team. That way you can focus on the more high level, big picture stuff, and you have kind of the more daily time consuming tasks taken care of by a team. This way you guys can go ahead and really start scaling. So now this part of the process, after you've gotten past paid advertising, you really want to go ahead and have your focus be on scaling. So with this, you need to focus on your organic funnel, your organic sales funnel, and your paid sales funnel. A lot of times people lump both together, but you should know how many sales you're getting from your paid advertising. You should know roughly how many you're getting from your organic funnel. And so now what you need to go ahead and do is you need to become a growth hacker, and you need to go ahead and A/B test everything. You need to focus now on funnel optimization. And this is another thing that this is a job that many big companies hire people just for this step alone, to do funnel optimization to increase conversion rate and retention rate of the customer. So what you guys want to do here is you want to A/B test and split test everything. So not only are you going to A/B test everything with paid advertising, and I've had several videos on that topic alone about split testing and the power of split testing, but here you want to go ahead and A/B test literally every part of your funnel. It can literally get down to what colors you use on your landing page, or what sales copy do you use in a certain ad, or what sales copy do you use on the product description. You need to go ahead and A/B test every part of your funnel to go ahead and, even if it's just increasing your conversion rate by 0.5% or 1%, that does make a big difference down the line, guys. If you go ahead and you increase it by 1%, that could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars more per year. Realistically, it really does. So you want to go ahead and focus on funnel optimization and growth hacking at this point. And that's all a part of scaling, guys. But this is a part that I see a lot of people not do. They get their success with paid advertising and then they get lazy. This is where you need to treat it like a job, and you need to go ahead and become a growth hacker and become passionate about optimizing the sales funnel. If you guys do that, you're going to continue to grow and grow and grow and scale, and then you'll build up more and more of a team. But this is the rough checklist, guys. Like I said, each individual step goes in so much more detail. There's more minute details under each part of the checklist, but this should help you guys as you're going through and you're creating your e-commerce business. You can go ahead and follow this checklist. Have I gone through and done everything I need to do with the brand? Have I gone through and really done enough niche and product research? Have I really devoted my time to gaining that organic reach? Or have I just skipped that step to get over to paid advertising? Have I really taken enough time to really learn how to use my advertising channels, whether that's Facebook or Google? And then have I gone ahead and invested in a great team and really spent my time with scaling? If you guys can go ahead and follow that checklist, you guys can make this work. Treat each individual part of the checklist like it's your job. You need to go ahead and become at least somewhat proficient in each step. Some steps you're not going to be as good at, where others are going to be better, and you're going to be better at some steps than others. And that's just, everybody has strengths and weaknesses, but all in all, as an entrepreneur, you need to become somewhat proficient in each step. But if you guys do this, you guys will be good to go. All right, guys, I hope you found some value in this video today. I know it's a little bit different, but this is something that I've been hearing from a lot of beginners, is they have literally no clue where to start. And so this should be able to help you guys out. If you found any value in this, please go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. If you guys have any specific parts of this checklist that you want me to dive deep into, I can definitely do that for you guys. So leave a comment down below, and I'd love to go ahead and connect with you guys. Keep grinding, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.